Hello everyone! Today I'm gonna take you with me to one of my favorite spots, very close to Stockholm. It's Tyresta National Park. So, we have finally arrived at the actual trail. You should be able to see the markings behind me here. But really, we're still just on the outskirts of Handen. And you can probably see some buildings behind me right there. So we're gonna hike along the trail here for a while, for about 10 kilometers until we get to our final destination for today, which is gonna be Tyresta National Park, which is really nice. So, I've been walking for about an hour now, so I should be about halfway to the national park. I just wanted to add a bit of a comment on this section of the trail. It is quite close to like civilization. I actually at one point walked quite close to a noisy highway. So the only good reason for hiking this section is if you want to add some distance to your hike, which is something that I actually wanted to do this weekend, while still being able to show off the nice national park. Yeah, but that's one of the good things about Sörmlandsleden in general, is that it's really easy, convenient to get to with public transport. But at the start and end of your trails, you will like be walking through suburbs of Stockholm and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. There are actually quicker ways of getting to Tyresta National Park. There are buses that stop quite close, and I will probably talk to you a little bit more about that later when we get closer. So, but the weather is quite nice. Had a few drops of rain. It's still quite cold. I think it's about 10 degrees Celsius outside now. But yeah. So we're almost at the entrance of the national park now. 3 kilometers left, and then we'll end up at a cute little village, which I'll show you. And then we're really close to the old forest. So, we finally arrived at Tyresta village. Behind me there is some small old buildings, and they are actually getting ready for the 1st of May, building a bonfire here. There's a farm over there, and they have some horses and ducks and sheep, which I think you can actually pet if you want. I'm not gonna do that. Up in the village here they have a cafe and some public toilets that are actually clean, quite nice, and running water, so I'm gonna fill up. So, we're leaving Tyresta village behind, all filled up on water and getting ready to get into the real forest here. So you can actually take a bus that stops right outside the village here. And there's another one that stops a few kilometers up the way, which is the one that I usually take out here for day hikes. So it's really quite convenient. Yeah. I've just entered the national park here, and it's already very nice and quiet, apart from the birds, but they're like music, right? So because this is a national park, the places where you can sleep or actually make camp are quite limited. You can only camp at designated camp spots. And because it's quite late, I got away from home a bit sooner, or later, I should say, than expected. I'm gonna just make my way to the first camp spot and hope that it's not occupied, and make camp there, make some dinner and set up for the night. It's quite nice. We're switching trails, heading off on Bilsjöslingan instead of Sörmlandsleden, because it leads to a small lake where there are 2 camp spots, and it's getting quite late. Not that much sunlight left, to be honest, and I'm hungry, so really want to get there soon. I've made it to the first camp spot, and while the scenery is quite nice, I would not recommend you camp here if you're sleeping in a tent, and I'll show you why. So there's a nice campfire here, but this whole area has quite an incline to it, and there's a lot of roots. But the rules say that you can make up camp wherever there is a fireplace. So I'm gonna do it, and the tenting doesn't matter to me because I'm actually sleeping in a hammock. And this is one of the great advantages of sleeping in a hammock, that you can just make up camp wherever there's trees. So I'll set it up now. Hammock is all set up, so now it's time for dinner. And what's for dinner? Well, it's gonna be these pre-packaged freeze-dried meals. They are from Real Turmat, which is a Norwegian company, and they're quite decent. It's gonna be chicken tikka masala, except, you know, it's not, but it's chicken and rice and stew, so it's quite good. Alrighty. Just witnessed a bit of a duck fight there. It's very, very interesting. But anyway, I'm just gonna cook the food, eat it, not very interesting, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So see you all tomorrow. I woke up to the rain this morning, as you might be able to hear, and it's pretty cold. It's about 5 degrees now, even though the sun is up. So I'm seriously thinking about just staying here in the dry
and warm hammock and try to wait the rain out. It's not raining heavily, but still.
The rain has finally stopped. But before that, I had some quick breakfast beneath the tarp. And then I tore down my camp. And now I'm on my way toward the first goal of today, which is going to be water. Because I drank most of it last night. And there is actually a natural spring at the northern edge of the national park. So that's where we're going now. Following Sörmlandsleden again. Some rocky parts here. It's quite slippery because they're wet. So I'm gonna have to be a bit careful. Smells good. That's one thing to note about these springs, is that they are actually not tested for bacterial infections or anything like that. So use your own common sense when using them. This one looks clean, it smells clean, and I'm gonna have a small taste as well, but I think it'll be fine. So use them at your own risk. And with that said, I've never had any problems with this one. Sometimes you happen upon one that doesn't look as good. So beware. Okay, so we finally arrived at Nyfors bus station. Considerably more wet, but still refreshed. So, until next time, have a good one.